What's up, y'all? My name is Devontae, and I sacrificed my time so you don't have to. And here I thought it was going to be an easy day. Upload a video, try to get everybody talking, at least amongst my audience, about things that go a little bit below the surface when discussing professional wrestling, rather than focusing on the foundation, if you will. And of course, I get this notification, and I haven't really touched on this in a while. It's been a minute since I've actually touched on anything relevant to politics, but here we are, still touching on racism, still touching on color, still touching on DEI, diversity, equity, and inclusion in 2024, bro. It's Morgan Freeman said it best, man. Racism only exists when you keep talking about it, bro. And it's crazy. It's crazy. The ones who are the most racist are the people who claim to be fighting against it, bro. It's ridiculous. I'm going to read you this article, and then I'm going to go back to some of her tweets in the past so you can have a little bit more clarity, a little bit more context. So this article was written today, but it's a interview that's stemming from 2024, but it's talking about tweets that existed about 2 years ago. So check it out. Former WWE NXT star reveals aftermath following racial comments about Mercedes Moné. The link is down in the description box if you want to follow along. Mercedes Moné, formerly known as Sasha Banks, has transcended as one of the megastars in the professional wrestling scene. However, there were indiscreet comments made about her by former NXT star Amari Miller, who revealed the aftermath of her actions. In 2022, Amari Miller stated that she aspired to become the second African-American NXT Women's Champion after former star Ember Moon. However, a fan reminded her that Moné was also of the same descent and had achieved that feat before Miller. Miller responded by mentioning that the CEO of women's wrestling, and I quote, was German and black. Receiving major backlash from the people on the social media website. She later apologized for her actions by clarifying that her comments were misjudged. During a recent interview with Steve Fall, the former NXT star revealed how she felt following the response to her tweet about the 7-time WWE Women's Champion. And I quote from Amari, "It did suck, and it was very hurtful. There are some people that are still mean about it, and there's some people that have, surpassed it, and it's like, this is in the past. It is what it is. But those are also the same people that are going to be in your face like, oh my gosh, can I have an autograph? Or, I sent you fan mail and I did this." So that's another thing. You put your life publicly. We've all done something. There's so many wrestlers and so many famous people before that have said something that went the wrong way, and it happens. You just got to kind of move forward and be like, okay, are the people that matter mad? No. Okay, did you say sorry? Like, if you honestly mean to say sorry, yes. Are you grateful for where you're at? Okay, get off social media. Let's just let this fizzle out and then go on with the next step and ignore them. I've learned that, I'm not a huge person on blocking people. I don't like it. It's a waste of time. Whatever. But sometimes you do have to go out of your way to block people, and at the same time, when people say things to you, it's like that's a reflection on themselves. I feel like trolls are gonna troll because they're, in a sense, jealous. But if they're not jealous, they just want to find something to do to occupy their time, and we have to keep that in our head as well. End quote. So essentially, she's not apologizing then. It's not really an apology. You feel like you just had to say, I mean, according to her, going off what she's saying, I feel like you just had to say something in order to calm the audience down. You didn't mean it. You just said it to calm the fans down. And now you're kind of backpedaling, it looks like, by saying, well, maybe I should just block everybody who's coming after me for saying something really stupid. Well, don't get it twisted. It's funny also, because I know people are going to probably be like, well, Devontae, what's the alternative? Let them come at you and just start harassing you for nothing? No. I don't like these people either. Not for the harassing part. It's for why they're harassing her. They're on the same side. Don't get it twisted. People like Amari Miller, people like these people who are going after Amari Miller, they're all on the same side. They just don't like the fact that another black woman went after another black woman. That's the problem. You think I care about these idiots on social media harassing others because of this situation? No. But what I do care about is let's have a little bit of context. Let's have a little bit of clarity as far as why these people are going after Amari Miller. She said something stupid and they're going after her for the wrong reasons. Not, hey, and I'm not, I'm generalizing here, but the right reason should be something along the lines of, hey, Amari, you made a stupid fucking comment. How about you don't make stupid fucking comments? Not, that's a fellow black woman and you shouldn't be going after your fellow black woman. What? You don't believe me? Here, check it out real quick. Let me read you some of Amari's tweets as far as a little bit of context so you know what we're talking about. Again, the link is down in the description box below. This person, and mind you, this is where I got the screenshots from because she originally deleted her tweets. It said, Amari Miller's career is finished. I don't even think she could come back from this now with the crew coming after her before she deactivated it. She said, and I quote, this is from, let me see. She said, shout out to Ember Moon being the first and only African-American NXT Women's Champion. She made this tweet back in August of 2022. And then she said, NXT goal, let's make that two, or let's make it two. I don't see the tweet, but obviously someone was asking her or telling her, hey, Sasha Banks did it first. And then she replied with, no thanks, Sasha is German and black, and I said African-American. How much of a fucking retard do you have to be to say that she is black and I said African American? As if these two things aren't the same fucking thing. Because of course being black doesn't mean you didn't originate from Africa. Doesn't mean you don't have any of your lineage that originates from Africa if your skin is black. I guess the sun just made it that way, huh? Fucking dumbass. And then it goes on to say, for everyone on Twitter, fully black NXT champion Ember Moon, I'm aware what I posted. So she's doubling down. Sasha is great and legendary for sure. Let's not forget. And then she posts a little small excerpt of a biography from Sasha Banks, I'm assuming on Google, that illustrates that she is indeed German and African American, meaning her mom is German and her dad is black. Not just African American, because African American means black. You can say all you want to, well, Devontae, there are Cuban people who are back. Well, guess what? That means they're Afro-Cuban most likely then. Don't you think? No? Huh? What? Let me guess. So maybe Bob Marley isn't black either, huh? Bob Marley isn't black? No, I guess so. Nelson Mandela, he's just African. He's not African American, right? Let's just get this out of our minds, first of all. Why does it matter? Why are you discrediting people because of their race? That is the dumbest shit possible. Okay? It's fucking stupid. First off, if you even want to notate whether or not Sasha is the first black champion, last time I checked, as you're showing here for proof, her dad, you said African American. It says African American right there. So you said black and German when it clearly says African American in your example. You stupid person, you. So take that out of the equation. Why does it matter? Why does it matter? See, this hyper focus on race, this hyper focus on anything that happens to do with immutable characteristics is so damn damaging to professional wrestling, overall society, don't get it twisted, but in particular to professional wrestling, because that's who I have to be surrounded by all the time in regards to content, in regards to the news. My entire life damn near right now is mostly about professional wrestling when it comes to my hobbies and whatnot. And I have to be surrounded by these lunatics consistently trying to tell me a superstar should be able to get a certain spot in order to kind of make, because, you know, we need equality. Not even equality. I take that back, because that's the problem. And I touched on this plenty of times before. They don't care about equality. Okay? Their suggestion of equality is making sure that every white wrestler, every Spanish wrestler, every wrestler who isn't black, right, is given a spot. Never mind how many black people happen to be there. Never mind how many black people are actually, you know, good at the job that they're actually proposed to be doing. Leave it up to these lunatics. It's either you go full world champion or you're being prejudiced against. You're not given any opportunities at all. It makes no sense. How do you? I don't understand this mindset in the sense of like, how does everyday, because I personally feel like I would be, and you know, it's even, I'll say this real quick too. Whether you're black, and especially if you're white, if you want to go on a racist tip, let me as a black man tell you how embarrassed I would feel if I felt like I only got a certain spot because of my skin color. Do you know how fucking pathetic you have to be to really sit back and say to yourself, wow, I got this spot not because of meritocracy. Wow, I got this spot not because I'm actually good on the microphone. Wow, I got this spot not because I'm over. Wow, I got this spot not because I can actually talk in the microphone. I can wrestle. I can do things to captivate the audience. I got this spot because I'm black. How is that not embarrassing? I'd feel ashamed of myself. That is beyond pathetic. That is behind, and I hear these people all the time say things like historical context, Devontae. You should look at the racism of the past and see what happened to the past black champions. And why do you feel that the people today should be able to? Okay, folks. I don't know even why, because in any other circumstance, this is always the biggest, obvious, most in-your-face thing that it's so obvious no one even has to touch on it because it's just there. It's like water being wet. Folks, you are not the black people in the past. You are not Bobo Brazil. Okay, you are not Thunderbolt Patterson. Okay, you're not Ernie Ladd. You didn't go through anything. Nothing at all. Nothing at all. All the things that happened as far as racism is considered in the NWA back in the 1980s, from the WWE back in the 1980s, is absolutely notated, and we should do whatever we can to make for the betterment of those lives that were actually affected, not your life. I am not going to hold somebody who wasn't even born at the time accountable for decisions that were made in the past to those people. What I would like to do is make sure that those people who were harmed are accounted for and are given their just due. You are not owed anything. You didn't go through anything. You are just trying to do your best to milk the system to get what you feel is worthy of condemnation for people who didn't do anything. It's not even just revenge. You're using that description of revenge in order to get over on the system so you can have a head start. That's pathetic. That's pathetic. You are not your grandmother. You are not your grandfather. You are the loser that exists today who wants to milk the rewards of what is merited and what is owed to your grandmother and grandfather. They fought for you to get a path. They fought for you to be on the road. They fought for you to get a starting position in the line. They did not fight for you to get a head start. And this can go overall for any minority group. Equality means you're given the same opportunity as everyone else. Equity, like reparations. Equity, like being given this position, given the scholarship, given this opportunity specifically because of your skin color, is racist. You are a racist. You can say as much as you want that you being black now totally negates that. That's not how this works. You're a racist. If a white person did what you are saying that you are okay of doing, you would call them racist. How do I know? Because you would take what they're doing, even at the most minimalistic level, and call them racist if they even try to perpetuate that. If there was an all-white school, you would call that racist while at the same time going to your African studies class in an all-black school. That is racist. Going back to professional wrestling, and I touched on this almost 5 years ago. I made this whole video about racism in professional wrestling. And one of my points that I notated was the fact that how many people of color were actually legitimately over, who were held back. As a matter of fact, if I remember at the time, the number's obviously different because this is 5 years later, but I remember saying at the time, and I counted live, it was around like the late 70s, not the year, the actual number. It was like 70 to 75 African Americans who were on mainstream wrestling. I counted NWA, TNA, WCW, WWE, AEW at the time when it was building up, when they had their roster. I counted all that at the time. It was only 73 wrestlers who were black who were notated in mainstream wrestling. Out of thousands upon thousands of different ethnicities. And then you say, why aren't we ordered this? Why aren't we given this? Why shouldn't we be entitled to this accomplishment when there's not even enough people to even suggest whether or not you even have a spot? How is that even possible? It's such a small sample size. How is that even possible? You're going after an invisible group of people, suggesting why aren't they in that positions to be given that opportunity? It's ridiculous. While ignoring every other white counterpart, if you even want to look at this at a per ratio, I can probably suggest to you per ratio that there are more successful black wrestlers compared to white wrestlers, compared to Spanish wrestlers, because newsflash, there are thousands of white wrestlers. It's about mainstream wrestling now through the years of 1985 to right now when professional wrestling became on television, on cable television. I can probably point to the fact that the disparity is wildly outraged if you were to take into account per ratio the white people who are wrestling versus the black people who are wrestling, who are successful. Think about it right now for an example. You can look at it right now. Look at WWE, the people who are successful right now. You have a whole legitimate goddamn group right now in WWE who are black. The biggest woman wrestler in the world arguably is black, and Bianca Belair, right? The most over superstar currently at the moment in terms of popularity and getting the biggest parts is most likely R-Truth. No? Right? Can you argue that? Huh? People of color. Because I know some people may say, they may pull the same racist nonsense on Sasha Banks. No, you're not going to pull it on me. The Rock is in the main event. Most likely. People are legitimately arguing right now about The Rock. Some black people are arguing right now that The Rock shouldn't be in the main event, given that position to Cody Rhodes. Look at AEW right now. Swerve Strickland is probably the most highest ascending superstar professional wrestling today. Black. Mind you, I'm naming superstar after superstar, and there's probably countless of others that I'm forgetting at the moment. But what I'm saying is, per ratio, when you take into account all the superstars accredited, Sasha Banks, another one of the most highly anticipated superstars going to AEW. When you take it per ratio and then you look at all the other talent, yeah, black people are doing pretty goddamn well right now. Tell me how many black people are failing compared to black people who are accomplishing things, and get back to me when you compare how many white people are failing things versus how many white people are accomplishing things in professional wrestling currently at the moment. It's a huge disparity when you look at it like that, because that's the only way you can look at it, because there's not a lot of black wrestlers in comparison to white wrestlers or even Spanish wrestlers. Or hell, at this point, even Japanese wrestlers. Yet, we always jump directly to the racism argument. And even when you have someone who's credible on that list who's actually accomplishing the goal, it's, well, they're not black enough. When does it end? When does it end? When you're so woke, you're racist. When you're so woke, you take a 360 and you come right back to the same spot, but now you're the bully. You can't hold people accountable for things that they didn't do. And you damn sure can't sit there and try to play the moral high ground while at this point in time, you are no different than the people in the position who you are now upset at, who no longer exist. They are dead. The majority of the racist people, the slaveholders, they're all gone. And guess who took their spot? You did. You're now the bully. You're now trying to get revenge on people who didn't do anything to you, like the people who did stuff to your grandparents who did nothing wrong to them. You are now the bully. Have so many rules and regulations on Twitter. Go on Twitter right now and say the word cracker and see what happens to you. Nothing. Now go say the N-word. Let's see what happens. A lot of things. And yeah, you can argue the historical context behind it. I completely understand that. But the fact that we're even highlighting a historical context, shouldn't that tell you anything right there? The fact that it's gravely immoral based off the historical context that we all understand, that we all see, shouldn't that tell you something right there? Huh? Shouldn't that tell you how many people get in trouble for even saying the N-I-G-G-A version of nigga? Can you even look at that and suggest at the very least that people are overly protective over your status in the United States currently at the moment? No. It's always working backwards. It's always working back. Well, I'll tell you what, because don't expect me to jump in the comment section and going back and forth with these racists. I'm not going to do it, because that's what it is. I will say this, though. Because in the end of the day, I'm all for representation, but I'm also all for equality. Y'all white people need to stop fucking kowtowing and stop acting like fucking punks. Y'all need to step up for yourselves, man. Y'all need to stand up for yourselves. Sitting back and letting people just shit all over y'all for no goddamn reason, bruh. Stand up for yourselves. Whether another white person approaches you who's on that woke bullshit or whether it's a black person. Just like I'll tell a black person back in the days, if I was in that position, we need to stand up and fight for ours. A bully is a bully and I fucking hate a bully. And that's what these people are. They're bullies. They even bully their own kind. Like Tupac said, it's supposed to be the white man I fear, but it's my own kind doing all the killing here. No, I'm not buying that bullshit. Nonsense. We sit here, we have to sit back and ignore all the shit that's currently going on in the world today because it hurts certain people's feelings because it's uncomfortable to talk about the bullshit. Nah, fuck all that, man. Amari Miller is an idiot, and the people who go after Amari Miller is an idiot because they're going after her for the wrong fucking reasons. Sasha Banks is black, and Sasha Banks did accomplish that. Take it for what you will, and if you don't accept that, and if you don't like that, that says more about you than it does anybody else, because that means you're a fucking racist. As always, my name is Devontae, and I'll be catching you guys later. I don't give a fuck how many subscribers I lose. You know I'm right, and if you don't think I'm right, well, again, like I said, you're a fucking racist. Deuces, P.I.s.